Hi, I'm Brian Peters, and I just wanted to show you some of the features of my SID synthesizer. It's built with pretty much just a Teensy 2.0 Arduino controller, which you can buy new for $19 at pgrc.com, and a SID 8580 chip, which you can find on eBay amongst other places. The 6581 SID chip would theoretically work, but instead of using a 9-volt secondary power supply, you'd need to use 12 volts. When you plug it in, it makes a little hello world sound and should show up as a MIDI plug-and-play device on your computer. It's also programmed to blink the LED on the Teensy every time it receives a MIDI note on, continuous controller, or pitch bend message. MIDI channels 1, 2, and 3 control channels 1, 2, and 3 on the chip and are all symmetrical. Portamento legato is enabled on these 3 channels, so if you play a note without lifting up the previous note, it glides to the new note, instead of stepping to the new note. The speed of the portamento is determined by continuous controller 20. While holding down notes, it keeps track of the order you play them in, so if I play this C minor triad and lift up the G, it knows that the E flat was the note played before the G. If I play the same triad and lift up the E flat instead, nothing happens, and if I play the E flat first in the triad and lift up the G, it goes to the C instead. The mod wheel controls vibrato, and CC2 controls the bend range that's mapped to the pitch bend wheel. It's in a range between 1 semitone and 12 semitones. Here's 12 semitones in each direction. And here's 1 semitone. There's also an arpeggiator, which is assigned to CC4. As you can see, if you turn the arpeggiator on and off while playing, the synthesizer doesn't forget the order that you originally played the notes in. CC5 controls the speed of the arpeggiation. CC6 selects the waveform that you're using. There's normally 4 waveforms, but one of them is a noise waveform that can't be combined with the other 3, but I have all 8 possible combinations as different values on CC6. CC7 has some additional features for each oscillator, like ring modulation and hard sync between oscillators, but I won't cover them right now. One awesome thing about this chip is that it has an ADSR envelope generator built into each oscillator, so CC8, 9, 10, and 11 control the attack, decay, sustain, and release of the oscillator. Here's an example of a fast attack going to a slow attack and back again. Here's an example of a fast decay going to a slow decay. Here's an example of a low sustain value with a decay, and a high sustain value with a decay. And here's an example of a fast release going to a slow release. A signature feature of this chip is the ability to modulate the pulse width of the square waveform with 12 bits of resolution. So you can either set a duty cycle or you can sweep through the range, which gives the effect of putting a phase shifter on the sound, which gives the sound some movement and life. This is assigned to CC12. One amazing feature on this chip is that they included a filter. CC13 on each of the legato channels sets whether or not that channel will be set through the filter. Here's a low pass. Here's a band pass. And here's a high pass. MIDI channel 4 plays drum samples, which is traditionally done on this chip by putting a DC offset onto the filter and then adjusting the filter volume for each sample. I have PCM audio embedded in the code itself. The mod wheel and pitch wheel change the sample rate. And I also placed some of the sample addresses in the range of the actual program data. MIDI channel 5 controls the polyphonic mode, which runs all 3 channels at once. An additional feature on the polyphonic mode is tremolo mapped to the mod wheel. And any settings you change in polyphonic mode apply to all 3 voices. So, thank you for watching this video. I hope this can help you decide if this is a synthesizer you want to try building yourself. And if it is, you can find everything you need in the Arduino projects section of my website at www.brianpeters.net. You can also find videos there and in the description of this video of these synthesizers being used to make actual music.